2. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to License to View, a weekly podcast on the internet where two best friends get together, talk about pop culture news. That's Zach struggling to get that can open. This is Jason with my can already open. Zach, what are
Hey,
you drinking?
so I actually bought these. This is my second time buying these, and I like them a lot. I haven't. Well, I clearly am not going to find them anywhere else, but I found them in Publix. Brew called the Sunshine State Florida Brew. I don't know what it is. It's a lager
Okay,
though, and
that's
I
a cool
love
can.
lagers. That's my shit. Yeah, I know. I like the artwork on it a lot.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm going Sapporo Tallboy.
okay.
That's what I'm going for.
I don't think
Still,
I've ever had Sapporo.
it's good. It's not my favorite Japanese beer. I like Kirin more.
Okay.
Um, it's not my favorite Asian beer, but it's definitely
Yeah.
good. It's a nice basic. All Asian lagers taste pretty much like Yingling.
Yeah. I think we talked about that last week.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
it's
they all
they all
just taste
taste
like
like
Yuengling.
Yingling, and that's okay with me because I like Yingling.
I mean, Yuengling's is not a bad beer for it to taste like. At least like they don't all just taste like PBR or some shit.
And maybe it's also PBR adjacent. I don't know.
Possibly.
Like we mentioned last week, I like PBR, so I have no problem with
Yeah,
that.
I mean PBR is not. I don't know. I'm more of like a Rolling Rock is like the cheap beer that I reach for more than anything else.
I've never had it.
It's not bad. I mean, it was. I think I got hooked on it because there was like I think most people get hooked on cheap beers, except for you probably, which was I was in college at a bar at a party, and I was low on funds, and I was like, "What's one of the cheaper beers you got?" And they said Roller and Rock, and I was like, "All right." And then I started drinking it, and I was like 3 beers in, and I was like, "You know what? I could drink like 3 more of these."
I I never I never had that or Coors or I think I had Coors once.
Coors is not that good in my opinion. It's like, I don't know. Of all those like generic cheap beers, I think it's like Bud Light's probably the top, maybe. And then it's, I would say probably Miller under that, and then Michelob, and then like Coors is like the bottom.
I was on Reddit in like the beer
Mm-hmm.
subreddit. It was
Mm-hmm.
like a European person like posted this question, being like, "Hey, to all the Americans in the group in the subreddit, what is like the beer like per your state? Like, what's the
Mm.
most? What do you guys drink? And what's the most popular beer
Yeah.
in the state you live in?" And like all the comments, including mine, because I was one of the first people to comment on it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I live in this place. There's a ton of craft brewery, so
Yeah.
craft beer first. But if you want to ask me what the most popular beer is, it's going to be a toss up across the state and across the country between like Bud, Bud
Yeah.
Light, Miller Light. It's all going to be the same thing.
I think South Carolina's big for Bush there too. Bush beer's big in South Carolina.
See, and I've never had it. Yeah, I've never had.
It's it's not bad for me. My senior in my fraternity, the guy who like mentored me, kind of that was like his beer choice, so I kind of I got onto it from him. But it's not bad. It's not a bad beer. I mean it's up there with like it's in the realm of like Bud Light, like Natty Light. It's like in that
Yeah,
realm
it's
of
they're
like
good. They're good shit beer.
yeah.
Because even if they're good, they're still shit.
Yeah, and Bush Light is like, I think it's like the same price as Natty Light. Like it's like less than $20 for like a 24 pack.
Yeah, I remember I
I think it's
went
like less than 15. Like it's
because
super cheap here.
I didn't go to college regularly. I'm going to college
Yeah,
now, obviously. I went to art school before that, so I didn't have dorms or anything.
yeah,
Um, I remember I went to a party with my girlfriend, and like they had Natty Light, and I was like, okay, I'll drink it. And I was like, this tastes like nothing. So I was able to slam like 15 of them,
yeah,
and I was like, this is no big deal, right?
yeah,
And then we go to a brewery, I take I'll drink like two like double
hmm
IPAs, and I'm like, oh man, you know,
yeah.
the ABV is so much higher.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, especially with those beers. I mean, it's like at that point it's like you're drinking like slightly alcoholic water. Like
Yeah, I
it's
think
like
like even the Sapporo, I think is probably like 5%.
yeah,
Um,
5% is usually a good ABV
I can't even find it on here.
because
22
this
fluid
one's
ounces.
5%, but this is also a tall boy, so I mean that's a little bit. But I mean I feel like for me it's like 5% is usually like the standard that I try to shoot for, in like a casual beer.
Yeah, I can't find it on here. It's probably like 4.55. I'm guessing somewhere in that range.
I'm guessing it's around that range, yeah.
A good old product of Vietnam.
Heyo.
So Zach, it
Yes.
was a hot Friday night on
Hot
for the
Friday night. It's
podcast.
actually cold here.
Oh, it's
It's
cold
cold
here
here.
too.
Oh, okay, good.
Freezing here.
Yeah.
What you been up to, man? The last week?
Um, been up to a couple things. So, the first thing I did was I watched a holiday classic with a little bit of a twist. A little bit of a twist to my watching this year. So I watched Die Hard,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
and the
Can't
it's
go wrong.
great movie,
Can't go wrong.
fantastic. So I watched it with VTubers this year. Um,
Excuse me.
Yeah. So they do like so it's really cool actually. So like a lot of them like Amelia Watson, she does a lot of them all the time. Like she recently before the Die Hard one, she went through all the John Wicks like a month or two ago, and she just went through like all the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. But basically, I mean, you just they start the stream. They say when they're gonna start it, and then you just start the movie at the same time as them, and you basically just watch along with them in the chat. It's fun. It was a fun time. I didn't get to watch it live, unfortunately, because I started watching it while I was at work, so I can't watch Die Hard in the middle of the work. Um, so I just watched the recorded thing when I got home. But it was a lot of fun. It was like getting to watch a movie with other people, especially for me, where it's like I don't have a whole lot of people down here. That's my emo comment of the day. But so yeah, it was like nice to like pretend like I'm watching
Right.
a movie on the couch with a bunch of friends. So
Honestly, I hate that. Not
oh
not
my
that
god,
not what you're doing, but I'm talking about, I hate the idea of watching Die Hard with other people
mm.
because I the movies that I
I feel
like.
like it's such a fun movie though.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
The movies that I like that I love. I
Mm.
want to watch by myself.
I
Because
get that.
because you're a talker, Zach.
That's
Um,
true. I am.
my girlfriend's also a talker.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with being a talker, but they're very much like roller coaster people, which
Mm.
surprisingly you both are. So it honestly it goes back to the idea of sucking the
Well,
fun out of other
it
people.
feels like me and your girlfriend have the right opinions, and then maybe you have
I
the
don't
wrong opinion. It feels like
let's
we're in the
let's
majority.
think. You know, I don't think Ebert was a talker in movies. I think he probably sat quiet while he watched the
That's true. He
movie
did a lot of talking after movies,
after
though. So
movies, which is perfectly fine. I'm all about that.
that's right.
Um, like if I'm watching Die Hard, thankfully everything's is pretty much surface level. You don't have to think a lot in Die Hard, and it's so well constructed in time that you can watch it with like 10 people and still have a good time. But if
Yeah.
you're like I'm watching like The Matrix,
Yeah, that's true.
I don't want to be. I don't want you to be there.
Yeah, I mean, one of the other ones, Ina, she does a lot of hers on like members only, which I haven't done any of that, but I know that she did recently did watch alongs for her Alien. She did
Oh,
one for The
that
Matrix.
is mandatory by yourself watching.
I feel like Alien's a good. I feel like Alien would be one of the ones for sure.
Like
That I would
aliens,
want to watch by myself.
I can see aliens
I
being a
think she
group.
did Aliens too, but she did The Matrix, she did Aliens, she did her first one was like super out of left field where she did the Nick Cage movie Color Out of Space,
Hmm.
which I hadn't seen, but I was like looking at that movie and I was like, I feel like this would not be a good movie to
It's
watch with people
not.
because there's like too much shit going
It's
on,
not.
because it's
Yeah.
weird Lovecraftian like existential shit that I feel like I don't know. I don't think I would want to like watch that with other people. But Ame, I mean, Ame's are perfect. Like she does action movies. Like I feel like the Batman movies are like perfect to watch with other people. She did the John Wick movies, which I feel are like great for like group watching. Like I feel like action movies are that one where it's like it's just perfect to watch with other people
Well, it's
because there's
like
not a whole lot like under the surface, and so even if you like miss something here or there, it's not a huge deal.
yeah, my girlfriend and I were trying to that eternal battle of trying to find a movie to watch
Yeah.
and just scroll. She was like scrolling through IMDb or something or Letterboxd, like
Mm.
the lists of things you should watch before you die
Yeah.
and shit like that. And because her and I are so different in our movie tastes and in
Mm.
movie consumption, Like
Mhm.
she's seen stuff, but she has stuff that she really enjoys. She's a big fan of Christmas Vacation. She likes the holiday
Mhm.
movies. I'm obviously a movie snob, so I've seen like all the movie snobby things,
Yeah.
and I've seen so much more than she has, which is not like me bragging. Just it's a problem that we deal with where she wants to watch something new, and I'm like that movie sucks, and it's like well, I'm like well because I've seen it already, you know.
Yeah.
And she's like naming things off that she wants to watch that are really important movies that I think people should see. Apocalypse Now, The
Mhm.
Godfather, shit like that. She's never seen Godfather, and it's like yeah, but Apocalypse Now is not like a buddy watch.
No, that's really a movie where it's like, well, it's like that and like the Godfather movies are
Like
the same
those
thing. Where
are
it's like those
like
aren't really movies that you like watch with other people. Those are
and
movies you
but the
like watch with
but
yourself.
she's never gonna want to watch them by herself.
Yeah.
You know what I
So
mean? Like you have
that's
to be
that
a
would be a
film
problem.
fan to like watch those movies. Like
Yeah.
pretty much anything Kubrick's ever made,
Yeah.
maybe except The Shining. Like you can watch The Shining during
I feel like
Halloween.
The
It's like
Shining, yeah, would
okay.
be. I think that, yeah, I think action movies and horror movies are like the two genre where you could probably watch them with other people and it's
Like
not too
it's
bad.
like if
But
okay, you want to do a Kubrick movie, The Shine. Okay, The Shining is the only movie you can do. And if you're
yeah,
gonna do a Coppola movie, like it's not gonna be Apocalypse Now or Godfather. It's gonna be like Peggy Sue Got Married or whatever the fuck movie that is that he made. Not Peggy. Is it Peggy Sue though? Whatever one he made. He's made like a
you
bunch
could
of
do the Robin Williams movie that
yeah.
he did,
Fucking what's
which
it called?
was what was it, Jack?
Frank or Jack or something.
Jack, I think, or something like where like Robin Williams is
Yeah,
like a child in a man's body
it's
or
the
something.
reverse of Benjamin Button.
Is it? Yeah, something like that. I
Whatever
haven't
it
watched
is.
that. I just remember the last podcast guys talking about it. They're like, that's a Francis Ford Coppola movie. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
what?
Mm-hmm.
Feels like a
Mm-hmm.
child's movie.
Yeah.
Because I think I always get that one confused with like Patch Adams because it feels like
Yeah.
it's a similar thing where he's just, I mean, it's also just Robin Williams in general where he's always just
All
like
his
a
movies are the
kid.
same.
He's just always a kid at heart, like in an adult's world. But yeah.
So you watched a VTuber watch Die Hard.
So I watched Die Hard while also having
Okay.
VTubers in the background.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So I mean, obviously, you know, VTubers are on the computer screen, and I have Die
Yes.
Hard on my TV watching on
Did
HBO
she
Max.
add anything to Die Hard?
They said "Yippee ki motherfuckers," and I got fucking hype when they did that.
Uh,
That's how they ended the whole thing. That they went "Yippee ki motherfuckers." I was like, okay, yeah, I dig it.
I was watching speaking of Die Hard real quick. I was
Mm,
watching like a YouTube like, countdown review show. I forgot what channel it was, but they were like counting down their favorite holiday movies,
mm-hmm.
and they one person put Die Hard on the list,
Obviously,
and he was like, "Oh, it's full of great quotes," and he didn't use that quote. He used like other quotes, and I was like,
honestly, it's like I feel like it's Die Hard was one of those movies where everybody always jokes about the fact that it's a Christmas movie, but it's like it's not even just the fact that it takes place on Christmas, like the Christmas season. There's so much Christmas shit. Like you're rewatching it, I was like, there's so much Christmas shit in here.
"Yeah,
Like tangential to the fact that like they're at a holiday party, like when they have the like glorious moment that like they finally break through the safe, like Hans Gruber and his bad guys do, they play like Ode to Joy, which is
yeah."
like the
Well, and then
classic
now I
Christmas.
have a machine gun. Ho ho ho.
Yeah, ho ho ho, and all
It's
that
about
stuff.
family, about him and his wife, and then also he
Yeah.
kills the guy's brother. So it's all about family.
Also, I was thinking about this. Walter Peck is in this movie, and he is an asshole in whatever movie he stars in.
Yeah.
Because he's an asshole in Ghostbusters, obviously
Mm-hmm.
Walter Peck, and
Mm-hmm.
he's the asshole journalist in this movie that like gives away the fact that John
Yeah.
McClane is in the goddamn building
Yeah.
because he interviews the kids and then threatens to deport the nanny by calling what is
Yeah.
it? He said INS, but it's Border Patrol. He's always a fucking asshole.
Yeah. That's his gig. That's his gig, man.
He's great though in it. And then you have
Yeah.
the guy from Family Matters. I can't
Yep.
remember his name, but he's
Carl
great.
Withers.
Carl Winslow from Family
Winslow.
Matters. I don't remember
Yeah.
his actual. I think it's like Laverne, something like
Laverne
that.
and Shirley.
Something like
Laverne
that.
Shirley.
Or maybe it's something Laverne. I don't know.
I couldn't tell
But
you either.
yeah, the guy from Family Matters is great in it. I
But
mean,
he's also a cop in what else is he in? He's a cop in Family Matters, but he's also a cop
he's a
in.
cop in Family Matters.
There's another movie where he's a cop, isn't he?
He's a cop in Die Hard. He's a cop in.
Is there another movie where he plays like a sergeant?
I don't know. I actually don't
in
know
the
too many
80s?
movies that like he's in.
I feel like he
Honestly.
plays another cop in the 80s.
I know he's. I figured out he was in Die Hard too, because honestly, of all the Die Hard movies, that's the one I've seen the least. But I saw that his name was also listed
Excuse me.
in that. Reginald Bell Johnson.
That's what it is. Yep.
Hold on. Let's see.
You've seen it the least amount of times.
Is he in Turner and Hooch?
He's in Ghostbusters.
I don't know where he is in Ghostbusters. He is not in Like Mike. I've seen that movie too many goddamn times to know that he is not in that movie. Unless he has like a bit part that like is like a flash on the screen. Because I have seen Like Mike too many times.
I'm trying to.
I forgot Crispin Glover's in that movie. That's a good movie. I need to watch that movie.
Which movie?
Like Mike. Oh,
Crispin Glover's in that?
he's the bad guy who runs the orphanage.
Oh, okay.
He's the one that he makes the kids go outside the Staples Center and sell.
Hmm.
He makes them sell chocolate to pay for the orphanage.
I haven't seen Like Mike in years.
Like Mike's a great movie. I watched that a lot because I mean it's in that pantheon of movies. There's like 5 or 6 of them where it was my brothers liked them a lot, and so I watched them a lot because they watched them all the time. It was like that. They always liked the extremely goofy movie. Like my brother was obsessed with that movie. So it was like a couple of movies like that, but it was like Mike was the big one. Remember the Titans also, which is just a fantastic movie. Glory Road. It's a lot of sports movies because my brother's sports movies. But like Mike was like the big one.
We joked years ago on the podcast about your brother's tastes in movies, like
Well,
both
my
of
one
them.
brother loves Transformers, so
Yes.
that tells you his taste in movies.
Yeah, and that's fine.
He says Transformers. His exact quote, because we went to see. This was like a long. I mean, obviously, it was a long time ago because Transformers 2 was like opening up in theaters, and we went to see Transformers 2 in theaters. And it came out a movie, and he said, "This movie's changed my life." And I was like, "I don't know about that."
I love that. I love that, man. That's so fucking funny.
Uh,
I I, I respect that, dude.
yeah,
Because I'm
I
pretty
mean,
sure.
but we also love the GI Joe movie, and that's a fun ass movie. So.
I'm pretty sure though. Me being like 8 years old, 7 years old, I watched like Terminator or like RoboCop specifically. I'm sure after watching RoboCop, I'm like, yeah, that changed my life.
Yeah. Yeah, I
After
think it's like 10
after
years old.
seeing Red Foreman be like,
Transformers.
after seeing Red Foreman yell at the hookers, being like, "Bitches leave." I'm pretty sure I was like, that changed my life.
Yeah. It probably did.
Well, honestly, again, we talk about how my parents had no caution about what I watched.
Yeah.
Again, I was 7 years old eating Fritos with cheese dip while watching RoboCop. Um, yeah, I'm pretty sure that did something to me.
Yeah.
Because honestly, that movie is so fucking bloody.
That movie, I mean, that's the movie where the guy like has radiation and then explodes into a pile of goo.
It's not even
So
that. Like in the first 20 minutes, you have a cop get tortured with a shotgun. You
that,
know?
and then you have the what is it, the Eddie ones or whatever, like completely decimated guy and like
Yeah.
shoot him so much that he like falls on top of a copier.
Yeah, that the rape, the potential rape scene where he shoots the guy in the PP,
That's
all
true.
the things that make RoboCop
The
so
famous
good,
PP shot.
that make RoboCop so good.
Yeah.
But I guess because it was balanced, because I would watch that at night, and then
Hmm.
during the daytime I watch Power Rangers,
Oh yeah.
so it just balanced out.
There you go.
Had goofy Japanese shit, and then I had fucking like sci-fi political commentary at night as a 7-year-old.
There you go.
So what else? What else you been checking out?
The other big thing I was checking out is I finished the series last night. It was good. It made me hungry because it's my yearly 2 to 3 month time where I decide that I need to watch a new cooking show.
Okay.
So I went on Netflix because also I don't know if we talked about this before, but Netflix has like it's 50-50, but some of their reality show content is like fucking really good.
Really?
I mean, for me, I mean, especially like, with their cooking shows, which is like, the main realities type of stuff that like I really like to watch is like
Yeah.
cooking show competitions, stuff like that. So, I mean, I think I talked about Crazy Delicious. Yeah, I talked about Crazy
Yeah.
Delicious a couple months ago when I watched that. And that was a really good show, which is basically like Great British Baking Show, but like different. But this was like an actual like American cooking show called the Great American Barbecue Show.
Oh yeah, I've seen this.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, this is a good show. Also,
Well,
my boy didn't win, which made me super sad.
listen,
But
dude.
goddamn, this is a fun
I'm
ride. Also, I wish I could fucking cook barbecue like these people.
okay, Zach. First off, you can
I
because
cannot cook an alligator tail or a whole hog like these people
listen,
do.
dude. I didn't think I could either.
I saw this guy cook. I saw these people cook a whole hog, and I said, I cannot do that.
That's first off, that's easy because it's South Carolina,
Oh,
right?
that's true.
That's barbecue in South Carolina. I
The
didn't think
Georgia woman did win, but
I
that's not
didn't
who I
think
wanted
I
to
could
win.
either, dude, until I started doing it.
You cooked a whole hog?
No, I don't do whole hog because
Oh,
I don't have a full.
I was about to say that's like a day long
Oh,
endeavor.
I've done like 9 hour.
Yeah.
I've done 9 hour cooks. I was actually gonna cook recently, but the weather kept being so cold that I didn't feel like fighting the
Yeah.
temperatures. Um, it's the best. I love it.
It made me so hungry, dude. It made me so hungry for barbecue, like good barbecue. Like it reminded me. It just kept reminding me of when I worked in downtown Charleston, and I would go to my favorite barbecue place that was on Market Street, like once a week for lunch,
Yeah,
because it was like the best place, and I always got their pulled chicken barbecue sandwich.
yeah.
I was like, God damn, dude, this is good fucking barbecue.
I got obsessed with it probably like a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I got for Christmas my girlfriend got me a grill. She
Mm-hmm.
got me a classic Weber grill. It's a
Mm-hmm.
kettle, and I was like, no, I want to start smoking stuff. So I bought a Weber Smoky Mountain, which is a vertical smoker.
Okay.
It's not an offset smoker like what you see in the show. The big ones that have the fire here,
Yeah.
that's an offset smoker.
Right.
This is not
They've got
pop
like the grill
culture.
area here, and then
Yeah,
like the
this is
actual
not pop
like
culture related at all.
box for
So
the stove. Yeah.
right, so that's the
I
offset
assuming yeah,
smoker.
with the vertical one, like the fire's probably at the
All the
bottom, and it
bottom,
just goes
so
up.
it's three
Yeah.
pieces. So I build my fire at the bottom, put my
Mm-hmm.
wood in there, or whatever I want to put in there, hickory or whatever I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I lay out my coal how I want to lay it out, snake method, whatever I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Layer it up. I have a water pan. Put some water in there if you want, or you can foil it, whatever you want to do. Put that as the second
Mm-hmm.
piece. Third piece up top, that's my meat. And then,
Mm-hmm.
cook it for however long, spritz it, all that kind of jazz. Uh,
Yeah.
have my thermometer going. And, like,
Yeah.
it's really fun, but then also, like, you want to take off the lid so much to make sure it's
That's my
okay.
main problem is that I have that 80 because I think it was a couple. It was probably a year or so ago now because my dad got my brother for because he's in the military, so his money come out of his fucking ass. So he bought my dad an actual like the one of the I don't think it was an actual like green egg, but it was like similar
Um,
to a green egg like smoker for my dad because my dad loves to grill. Um, he grills all the time. He doesn't actually like. I wouldn't say he like barbecues, but he grills all the time.
sure.
But he bought my dad a ceramic smoker, and I think we were like making dinner one day when I was like back. I think this was before I moved to. No, it wouldn't have been because it probably would have been too cold then. God, it must have been longer than that. Um, but there was something we were like cooking dinner or something like that, and I was like in charge of the grill, and I had that. I got like the ADD man where I constantly want to be like
Yep.
lifting it up to like make sure it's okay, and it's like no, you can't
You
do that
can't do
because
it.
that's like takes out all the heat.
Well,
It takes longer.
I'll give you my final barbecue story.
Mm.
So you can keep talking about the show. Um, our friends had a Fourth of July party either a year ago, 2 years ago, something like that, whatever. So I came over and our buddy bought a brand new grill just for
Mm.
this.
Yeah.
So I brought my charcoal over.
Is it
And
Kyle? Because that sounds like some Kyle
yeah,
shit.
yes.
Yeah.
And I brought my starter over, which is my little starter cubes. And I brought my chimney, which is a metal thing you put your charcoal in there and you light at the bottom and it heats all the charcoal up.
Mm-hmm.
So I brought that over, and they were grilling already pre-made burgers. First off,
Mm-hmm.
are terrible. Hate that shit. Hate it. I'm a
You
snob.
gotta
I'm a
pound
snob.
them
So
together yourself.
I get over
Yeah.
there. They're doing that, and they use lighter fluid, which I can't stand.
Why do you want your burgers to taste like fluid?
It's terrible. And he's just sitting there, just flipping them. And I'm
Mm.
like, Kyle, first off, you flip 2 times.
Yeah.
You put it on, you let it cook,
Yeah.
you wait, and
You
then you
flip it.
flip it, and that's it.
Yeah.
The only other time the spatula touches it is if you're moving away from the flame, or if you're taking it off the fucking grill to put it on your
Yeah.
fucking plate. That's the only time. Um, so
You know what? The problem is that too many people watch TV shows and sitcoms where you just see the dad constantly flipping
it
burgers.
dries it out, man.
Yeah, that's not
It
good.
dries your meat out, man. So
Yeah, but yeah, no, I mean the show's good. I mean, they have the interesting dynamic. I mean, it's a cooking show, so they didn't do anything like too radically different. I mean, it's they have the basic challenge. They introduce some twist most of the time halfway through, or they start off with a twist in the beginning. Um, but I didn't realize also I'm just like a barbecue like ignorant and like a novice. Like I didn't realize that there was like so many different ways like to barbecue and
Like,
like so many different things that like go into barbecue.
like, what do you mean? Just like in general?
I mean, just like I would say in general, like the well, first of all, like all of the different things that all incorporate like barbecuing and like all the different types of meat and stuff like that, and like the
Right.
way that certain meat like cooks differently and tastes differently, and because of the way that like the animal is, like
Yeah.
the muscular structure and whatnot, like that requires a different cooking time and a different
Yep.
way to cook.
Yep.
Like well, I mean, the biggest thing for me is they have the thing where they do like the antebellum and like prehistoric barbecuing. And
Hmm.
it's like the way that you have to like cook the goat. And it was like I was like, oh, goat, I love goat. Like goat's tasty. And then the guy was like, I don't want to do goat because goat's hard to cook. And I was like, goat's hard to cook? And they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, it takes fucking long time because there's so many muscles that it has in it that it takes a lot longer to like break it
Yeah.
down. Which is like when they were getting to the whole hog, and I was like, oh fuck, it takes like
Oh yeah.
8 and it was funny to me. I mean, honestly, me being ignorant, they do these challenges, and they're like, "You have 5.5 hours." I was like, "Oh, that's like
Yeah. It's
triple the time to like."
plenty of
I was
time.
like, "Oh, that's a triple the time to like most other people do
It's
in
funny
cooking
because
shows. Most other cooking shows is like 30 minutes."
while you're saying that, my girlfriend and I watched the show when it came out a few months ago,
Yeah,
and we're watching it, and we're both like, "No,
yeah,
5 hours," because because she likes barbecue a lot.
yeah,
So we're both like, "That's not enough time."
yeah. Well, that's a crazy. And then they're like, yeah, they're throwing all the other shit. Like you have to do like you'll not only have to do like a protein, but you have to do like a separate protein, and then you also have to do like two sides and the desserts. Um, Some of my favorite characters got eliminated in like the first bit. Like I love Shotgun; he was best.
The younger black guy,
Yeah,
he
that was the one I wanted to win.
yeah, he was
Rashid was
good.
the guy I wanted to win, and I thought he was going to. And then all of a sudden, the Georgia girl like took it over him, and I was like, she's been a good barbecue the whole time, but like it was like the judges said, it was like from day one she was just like constantly complaining and like always complaining about
Oh,
like
the old
her
white servant
choices.
lady.
Yeah, she was
Yeah,
like always constantly complaining about her
yeah,
cooks and her choices, and she was always like, "I have the raw end of the deal," and I was like, half the time you don't, like you
yeah.
just
But
want to
except for
complain.
when she would do it right and they would appraise her,
Yeah,
then she'd be like, "Oh yeah, I knew
yeah.
I just tried this and I was so good, wasn't I?"
Well, they said that shit, but that was why I liked Rashid so much, because at least for him, he was like, "Yeah, I'm like the first time, like I've never been a competitive barbecuer. I just like do shit on my own, and like I know, a little bit about barbecuing, just from my heritage, and so like from him going in and like being like somebody who knows like really nothing of like the competitive scene and coming in here and making the final two, I was like, God damn, dude, I wanted to win so bad. Plus, he was such a good guy. It was like
Yeah.
I think it was like the second or third to last episode where it was like the one guy from North Carolina was like breaking down because they were doing like the unnatural proteins, and he was like he was cooking his gator tail, and it was like he had this squirrel stew, and it was just like not working out for him, and he just like broke down, was gonna quit. Where she's like, no, fuck that, get back in here, you get the fuck over here. I'm not beating somebody who quits. And
Yeah.
then they actually like go and like take the time from their own cooks to like help this guy. Like it reminded me of the thing that like I really like about cooking shows, which is that great British baking show energy, where
Yeah.
it's not cutthroat. It's like
Right.
we want to win, but also we like each other, and we want to see each other do well. We want to cook the best that we possibly can and compete against the best. And
Right.
I like that kind of dynamic in a competition show. I don't always like stuff to be so cutthroat. I like that like wholesome, like it's a competition, but there's still like you can be friends afterwards.
Right. No, I get that completely. I we enjoyed it. I don't think we finished the. I don't think we finished. I think we had like two more episodes left. But I enjoyed how they filmed it. I enjoyed how they presented it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the white host lady was kind of annoying. Like she was super snooty,
She was definitely the snobbier of the ones, where it was like she definitely had the air of like
and it was to me it was
I'm the
like,
all I'm the all star. But I like the other
yeah.
guy more. The black guy, I found like I liked his opinions a lot
Oh
more,
no,
and I felt like he was a lot
the
more
problem with the
determined.
white lady was that like she was so snooty, but then like my reaction was like barbecue is supposed to be for everybody. So you're
Yeah.
acting so snooty, like
Yeah.
it's okay. Um, so
She had the definition of the resting bitch face most of the time.
yeah,
It was like
I agree.
anytime anybody was like trying to explain like what they were doing in their cook, she always had
Yeah,
the face of like, I can't believe you're fucking doing this right
yeah.
now.
My tangent off this real quick. Like I said, I got really into smoking, and I've been
Yeah.
on a couple smokes a year. It's
Yeah.
good because it takes so much time, and good cuts of meat cost money.
Hmm.
And you know, if you want to do some brisket, it's gonna cost you $50 for a brisket.
Yeah.
And I don't personally like brisket. I'm a butt guy, but
Hmm.
so those my favorite YouTubers like on my feed are like it's like
Hmm.
games, comic books, movies, and then just fucking barbecue and beer. And then like the barbecue people, there's two guys I watch. There's an Asian guy from California named Harry Sue, who's like
Okay.
a Korean dude or a Vietnamese, or he's from Asia, no,
Hmm.
and he's like a champion, like a
Okay.
champion smoker. He just gives you recipes and it's amazing. My favorite dude, his name is T. Roy Cooks. He's
Okay.
like a middle-aged 50, 60-year-old guy from Louisiana, lives in Texas, retired,
Hmm.
I think. He just wears Hawaiian shirts and just cooks in his backyard. And it's like the most. First of all, I learned a ton. I learned so
Hmm.
much. Everything I think I've learned from barbecues either been from two books that I bought, and then from this guy's YouTube channel. But
Hmm.
also just fun to watching him. It makes you want to go out and like I watched the video that he posted a few weeks ago, his new video, and I was like,
Hmm.
God damn, I gotta smoke, man.
Yeah.
I gotta go out there and smoke, dude. This dude's out here killing it. I gotta get some fucking ribs,
Yeah.
and that's why I've been itching to go out there and smoke, but
Hmm.
I haven't done it yet. Like I said, the weather's the cold, and well,
Yeah. The weather's not been good the past
my
couple of
point is
weeks.
that my point I was trying to say before that I forgot to say was that
Hmm.
with the opening and closing of the thing,
Hmm.
I talk to people who want to start smoking, and they'll buy. Do you know what a Traeger is?
The name sounds familiar,
So
but I can't picture it in
it's a
my.
grill brand or a
Okay.
smoker brand, and it's a what's called a pellet smoker or a pellet
Okay.
grill. And what it is that you put these pellets, which is the fuel, and you
Hmm.
pour them into the smoker, and it's a computer system. So you just set your temps, and you pour in the fuel, which is these pellets,
Oh.
and you can just set it and leave
That
it.
kind of like takes away the whole fun of
So
barbecuing. Then.
people use and apparently they're really effective and all that kind of stuff, and they're good for if you're lazy or if all you want to do is go out there and just get some good smoked meat because it's still you can put your wood out there and all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
And they're expensive as shit, but they are really effective. I tell my friends or people I used to work with or people that I see who I talk to about it. I'm like that takes away the you're never learning how to actually smoke.
Yeah, I mean the whole you're not really like learning how to control the temperatures and like watching your
Yeah,
fire and making sure that like you're having it consistent because that was the thing that got me. It was that like I forgot about the fact that like especially because it's not like an actual grill, it's like a wood fire stove, and so like taking that's why I'm like super impressed by like all these people because like them being able to like do this like smoking and like watching their fire and make sure they have a consistent temp to have like good meat
yeah.
and then also having to do like making sides and like all this other shit that like takes like each side probably takes like 30 to 45 minutes, so that's like an hour and a half from your cook that you're like spending not watching your meat, which is like something else that's
Every
like
time
crazy. But
except for because I do burgers a lot, I do burgers pretty often, or at
mm-hmm.
least during like holidays or whatever, especially in the summer, Fourth of July, all kind of shit. And
Yeah.
I do smash burgers, so those are super easy to cook. Takes me about a minute to do one burger, so it's super easy.
Yeah.
I do double stacks. That's never a problem. But when I actually smoke meat,
Mm-hmm.
every time because they don't talk about this in the show, but when you dive into smoke or pop culture or whatever, you
Mm-hmm.
learn that some smokers or grills or kettles just have bad ceramic and just don't, or good ceramic and just either heat hot or heat low. So
Mm-hmm.
my Weber Smoky Mountain, my personal one, it runs fucking hot. And
Mm-hmm.
some say if you run it a couple times, you cook it out, you can kind of lower that temperature back down because we're smoking. You don't want it to be hot, you want it to be low.
Right.
Of the two, you want to be able to run lower, and then you just build up the fire to get to your temp. But my Smoky Mountain runs really, really hot.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've had battles where I'm like trying to burn out my fire to get it
Mm-hmm.
lower because I don't want to kill my meat, you know,
Right.
or vice versa, where I've burnt types of charcoal. Certain
Mm.
charcoal burn faster than the others. So one time I bought the wrong charcoal, which was like briquettes,
Mm-hmm.
and it burns real fucking hot, really, really fast. So
Mm.
I was like 400 degrees. I'm like, I need to be at 275,
Yeah.
and it burns that way. And once the burn is done, then you have no more fuel left. So I'm having to reheat new charcoal to
Mm.
put in there, and then lower that temp. So you have these valves on your smoker for airflow. So you're
Mm-hmm.
sitting there trying to constantly quarter inch that hole and quarter inch this one, and I'm gonna half that one, shut that one off, and you're
Mm-hmm.
constantly checking your temp, and it's a lot of work, but to learning it, it's fun. It's so much. It's like a
Okay.
whole new hobby that like I didn't think I was ever gonna give a shit about, and all of a sudden I had it, and
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. So,
Okay.
but that's it on my end.
No, I mean that's it for me for the show. I mean, it's just my boy didn't win, so that was kind of sad. But I mean, I didn't dislike the girl that won. I just don't think. First of all, I don't think she was like as good of a cook because I was way more impressed by Rashid and like what he was able to accomplish. But it is
Right.
what it is. Um, but yeah, that was fun. So I watched that. I'm trying to think if I watched anything else. I don't think I did.
Okay.
I played a couple of things. I mean, I've just been playing, Genshin. I've been playing Fate. Not too much to report on there. But but yeah, that was the main stuff that I did.
Awesome. I got a couple things on my list. First thing I did was I watched Beverly Hills Cop,
Oh shit, dude!
which I haven't
It's
seen in a
been
long time.
it's been a year or so since I watched that. I think
I haven't seen it in
something
a
like that.
while, and I haven't seen two or is there three or just two?
I think there's three.
Right? I haven't seen two or three in a long
Pretty sure
time.
there's three.
I know there's two. I can't remember if there's three. I thought there was, or is
Let
it
me see.
just two? Because two is the one where the guy gets shot.
Let me see. Beverly Hills Cop film series. There's three.
Okay, so I don't even remember what three's about. But I've
I've
seen
actually only seen one, and one it was my first time watching one like a year and a half or 2 years ago. Like it was
okay.
my first time,
Yeah, two
but I enjoyed it a lot.
two is where the Beverly Hills lieutenant gets shot or something. He's in the hospital, and Foley has to pretend he's an FBI agent to stay there. It's all this kind of stuff. But
Okay.
I watched one, and I haven't seen it in a while. Because what happened was they're releasing in December. They're already out now, but on 4K they put out Coming to America and Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh,
I didn't buy them yet, but I was like, no, I'm gonna watch them. I haven't seen them in a long time,
yeah.
and it drives me crazy that how good Eddie Murphy is.
He's great. He's
In
fantastic.
like, so it kills me because in this movie, guess how old he is?
He's like sub 30s, isn't he?
He's 22.
Yeah. Goddamn.
So before this came out, he already had his SNL. He already
Yeah.
had his like number one worldwide most watched comedy stand up special. Like
Hmm.
the dude's 22 years old. How the fuck do you
Well, I
hit your
think
prime at
I feel like
22?
with Eddie Murphy, it was like he hit his prime, and it was like ba 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 ba. It was all that stuff, and then it was like that one or it was a couple of movies that like didn't do so well, and he kind of like just fell off. And then he only recently came back last year
But I
when he
mean,
did
he's
the
been
the Dolomite
from
documentary.
fucking like 48 hours or like coming to
Yeah.
America to 2007. He was still consistently doing
When was the
shit.
last Shrek movie? Because that was the last movie he did.
Well, Shrek, he did the fucking soccer movie or the Daddy Daycare movie, whatever. Daddy
Oh yeah.
Daycare.
Oh, I love Daddy
He's
Daycare. That's a funny
constantly been
movie.
doing shit like, and it blows my mind that the dude's 22 making this movie, and he's like
Yeah.
better than like I mean everyone's good in the movie, but he's like leading the cast and he's 22 years old.
Yeah.
Like he blows out fucking people who are like Marlon Brando, like dudes who like are like legitimately like oh we're actors, and he's like 22 like out there crushing it. It pisses
Yeah.
me off. And I saw a picture that they have recently released of the first picture of Coming to America 2,
Mm.
which
I haven't seen
I'm
that
excited
yet.
to see.
I need to watch. I actually haven't seen Coming to America. I need to
It
watch that.
is very good.
I've heard everybody. It's like
It's very
everybody's
good.
favorite Eddie Murphy movie. So.
Not my favorite, but it's very good.
Mm-hmm.
I like Golden Child a lot,
Mm.
but in terms of like pure comedies, it's one of his. It's definitely like in his top three. I would say his top. People would say his top first movie. I could see that because it's really great.
Mm-hmm.
But like to me, it's like Beverly Hills, Golden Child, and then probably Coming
Coming
to
to America.
America.
Okay.
So I watched Beverly Hills Cop, and I just know for a fact. I know they'd be talking about doing a fourth one or whatever, a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
In my mind, I can't. I imagine them doing a whole reboot.
Yeah, probably.
Just
I think that would
pick a
make more
whole new person. A
sense.
whole new person is doing it again.
Yeah, I mean that would make more sense. Is just finding another guy to just fill that
They'll
role.
just do Michael Che and just have him do it, or Trevor Noah or some
Well,
bullshit.
knowing the way that things are going now, yeah, I'd probably be Trevor Noah. I don't know what other young is Michael Che the guy from SNL?
Yeah, he's the
Yeah,
Weekend
so
Update guy.
it would probably just be him. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, maybe it'd be good. I don't know. Probably not because it's not
I don't
supposed
know.
to
I
be.
haven't watched SNL too much. The first things I've seen have not been great, but they've also starred Pete Davidson, and I don't like Pete Davidson, so
Yeah, he's not good. The other thing I did was play some more Cyberpunk. I'm at
that was the
Act.
thing. I did not. I actually haven't booted up that game again since that first day I played it.
I got to Act 2, which is only like 6 hours in, and then
Okay.
I stopped, and I'm glad I did because everyone's getting refunds.
Yeah, well, that was the crazy shit. Was that yeah? Sony took it off PSN, the PSN store
Yeah,
digitally. It's gone. So if you want a refund, it's there. I'm not going to get a refund because I know as soon as they update it, either one or two things are going to happen: is they're going to update it, or the next gen patch is going to come out, and
but
I'm just going to buy a PS5.
they're still offering the free next gen version upgrade, right?
I would assume that you would lose that if you refunded the game
But
because
like
I
if you still have
assume that
it,
yeah, if you still have it, you get the free
because
next
I'm
gen
just gonna
upgrade.
keep my copy, then just won't play it
Yeah, that's what
until
I was thinking.
yeah.
Like, yeah, I'll just keep my copy, and then yeah, either it becomes playable on PS4, or I just finally have a PS5, and the next gen version comes out, and I just play it on
Yeah,
PS5.
exactly. Well, I've seen Keanu, played with Keanu.
I was gonna say he's gotta be like the end of Act One, right, where
Yeah,
he
end
like
of Act
pops up.
One, it's all about him, and you get the chip and all the kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And listen, man,
Mm.
it had so much potential. If I was playing on PC, I'd be all about it
Yeah.
because it's
That's all I've heard is
so
everybody who's
cool.
playing on PC is just like, yeah, I love it. It's buggy,
Yeah,
but it's not
it would be
anything
so
terrible.
cool, but
Yeah.
on console, it's just not. It's not there.
Yeah.
It looks terrible. It plays rough. It's
Yeah.
load screens. It's terrible. It's everyone's talking about it, so I'm not gonna talk about too much about it. But
Yeah.
it is, it is fucking. I'm trying to think of an equivalent. Um, what's it called? What's the movie called? Um, what's it called?
I don't know. You gotta give me a clue.
It is
What do you
Last
think it is?
Jedi.
Is it the Last
It's
Jedi of video games?
levels for me of like, man, I was like, this could have been really something special, and then you just fucking
Mm.
shit on it.
It's the Rogue One of video games.
I didn't think that highly of Rogue One even before it came out. I thought it was stupid why they're even making it. I was like, we got the story ready. We don't need to do that story. I don't need to see the bot. And they didn't even show the Bothans, so I don't fucking care.
No, they didn't. Yeah, no
So,
bots.
Cyberpunk. Then I watched the Belushi documentary on Showtime.
I wanted to watch it because Jay talked about that, and I wanted to. Oh, fuck! I did watch something else, and I totally fucking forgot.
What you
Because
watch?
speaking of that, it reminded me of the fact that I watched it. I watched Possessor,
Oh yeah,
Cronenberg's son's new movie.
yeah.
I totally forgot that I watched this because I didn't write it down. You speaking of Belushi reminded me of it because Jay watched the Belushi documentary on Showtime, and they also talk about how they watch Possessor. Um, I enjoyed it. Um, it's a fucking strange movie.
Yeah.
It's super strange. I mean, it's definitely like I don't know. I haven't watched like too many Cronenberg movies, but it definitely has
Because
like
why would
the.
you? Why would you?
I mean, the only one I really know that's David Cronenberg is The Fly, and then
Yeah.
also Scanners. I think
Scanners,
is
yeah.
also him, right?
I
Which
believe
is
so.
like the head explosion.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones I really know. by him, and I haven't watched either one of those. But this movie definitely feels like it has like the body horror thing. But I mean, it was like I was watching it. It was exactly like what Jay and Mike are talking about, where it's like it feels like a fucked up version of a Christopher Nolan movie,
Mm-hmm.
where it has like the super high concept, where it's like the, I mean, it's exactly what they talk about, where it's like the Inception type concept of like, you invade people's minds and you take over people's personalities in order to carry out assassinations.
Yeah.
I was like, that shit feels very Christopher Nolan.
Oh, absolutely.
Um, and the whole look of it feels like not Christopher Nolan. I don't know. It's got that weird aesthetic where it's not cyberpunk. It's
It's like
like
retro futuristic.
It's like retro futuristic, yeah, like retro punk almost, kind of like in that aspect where it's like parts of it are futuristic, and then parts of it are also like weirdly retro
Mm-hmm.
and stuff that like I don't know, the mismatching of technology and like the retro aesthetic is always something that like I find weird but interesting at the same time. Like the visual aesthetic of it is interesting, but the trying to wrap my mind around like how this is even a thing doesn't make sense. Like it doesn't make sense that we have like cars that are like from the 1950s when we also have like technology that is like Skype, and you can when you have web cameras, and then you also have like real people that are like looking through people's web cameras to like data mine and
Yeah.
like figure out how to like target ads towards people, which is like very strange. It's not like a computer program. It's like something that actual people do, which it feels weird, but
Right. I watched that them talk about that too on Regular Media,
yeah.
and I had no desire to watch that
I mean,
movie.
you probably I feel like you would have a similar opinion to it that Mike did.
Maybe, and my biggest problem is that like as I'm getting older in my old wise age, I have become even more specific in what time I give to content,
Mm,
and that is now being more curated by things I know that I will semi enjoy.
fair enough.
Like I watched Commando Ninja, which is a indie film from people in France, which just wanted to
Okay.
make like, hey, let's just make an action movie, like an '80s action movie, because I found it because they were doing their Kickstarter for number two. So I was like, okay, well
Wait,
I'm gonna watch number one.
did they go against the ninja?
They didn't because the main character,
Is a ninja?
Commando, but
Okay.
ninja.
He's a
Um,
commando ninja. Did he have friends at least? Friends forever?
I don't know, man. Honestly,
Breaking all the
I watched this
rules.
like 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. I
someone's like
get you.
blowing my phone up, dude. Shit. Um,
Sorry, it's my phone too.
yeah, I think is it our friends?
No, it was the FDA
Oh,
officiating the Moderna vaccine. So.
mine's our friends talking about some game night or something.
Oh yeah, I'm not in that one anymore because I can't participate in anything that happens in real life.
I
So.
didn't even know I was in this Facebook. I didn't know I was in this group because I don't ever get texts
Wait,
from them.
it's in the group?
No, it's in the face some text chat.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Um, other thing I watched, so Belushi.
Yeah,
It's pretty
Belushi.
well done. I mean, I'm not the biggest Belushi fan. I've never been a necessarily huge fan of his.
Mhm.
Obviously, he's great. Obviously, he's legendary. You can't deny that.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Animal House fan. I'd never seen any other movie he was in. The most interesting thing to me about Belushi is that he
Mhm.
was supposed to be in Ghostbusters, and
Yeah.
to me that's mind blowing because I can't imagine the kind of movie it would have been if he lived to be in that movie.
I I can't imagine what movie
And I,
that
and
movie
I
would be like
can't
with
imagine
Belushi.
that it would be as successful. Honestly, just straight up,
I don't think
because
so.
what makes him great, what makes that movie one of the things great is how Bill Murray plays it.
Yeah.
So I don't. I think Eddie Murphy's supposed to be in it too. I believe.
I think they talked about that. Yeah, because I think yeah, in the movies that made us, I think they talked about that. Yeah, I think Eddie Murphy was actually supposed to be the
Other character,
the oh my god, what's his name?
Winston,
Winston.
or he's supposed to be Hale Ramis' character.
I think he was supposed to be Winston,
Okay, so
and
not
because I think it
Spangler
was always supposed to be Dan Aykroyd
and
and
Spangler.
Ramis. Yeah,
Right.
together, and then I think yeah, Eddie Murphy I think was supposed to be Winston, and then I think Yeah, Belushi was
Because
originally supposed to
if
be.
Eddie Murphy ended up doing it, there's no way they would have cut down his lines.
No.
Because they
Well, he
would
also probably wouldn't. I don't know. Yeah, he probably would have got it introduced at the same time as Winston, but he definitely would have like. Yeah, he would not have. They would not
they
have
would
cut
have
away.
kept his lines full of improv.
Well, he would have delivered such great lines that
Yeah,
there's no way they could cut it.
I would love to see that movie in an alternate reality.
Mm.
So the documentary is pretty well. It's pretty well made, but like I don't necessarily. I wish it was about Dan Aykroyd. Because to
You just
me,
wish they had a Dan Aykroyd.
yeah, I wish they had a Dan Aykroyd one because I like Dan Aykroyd a lot.
Mm. I get
Between
that.
because between obviously Ghostbusters, obviously, and I don't give a shit about Coneheads, but like Dragnet and
Blues
stuff.
Brothers,
Well, yeah,
which I haven't
that which
seen.
is
But
Belushi. Oh, you haven't seen Blues
yeah,
Brothers?
no, I haven't.
It's great. It's a great movie, great album,
I've heard it's great. I just need to watch it.
great movie,
But
great album. But the thing about Dan Aykroyd, I mean, that is so amazing is that he's one of us.
yeah, he is.
Like that's why
100%.
Ghostbusters exists because he's one of us.
Yeah.
And he has a show on Travel Channel
Wait, he
that
does?
he narrates called
Uh,
Hotel Paranoia or some paranormal,
okay.
where he like narrates like people's experiences.
I
And
dig.
like I was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go log into my Travel Channel app and I bookmarked it to be watched because you talk about how you like reality TV. Well,
Mm.
my reality TV is fucking. And I've gone away from it for years. Now I'm coming back
Hmm.
to it, which is the Discovery Channel shows
Yeah.
and the Travel Channel shows and the
I'm
A
trying
and
to think
E.
of the. I think it was the A&E. They had the. It was like a. It was like a Discovery Channel show or something like that. But it was like basically the recreations of like real life hauntings that people have experienced. I
Okay,
used to eat that shit up like it was fucking going out of
because I've been like
style when I
I
was a kid. I love that fucking show. I don't remember what it was.
I
I'll have to look it up.
sporadically have been digging into more. I'm planning to go through a full watch through of Ghost Adventures because I've never seen it before.
Well, if you have to go through a full watch through, I'm not gonna watch it because I already know about Zach Baggins personally. But I feel like we have to take a trip to his haunted museum.
I would love to. Do you know where it's at?
It's in Las Vegas,
Is that where it's at?
so we could hit two birds with one stone. Where we go to his haunted
Mm.
museum, and then we also hit the
First off,
strip.
why do you say you know about him? Like he's
Well,
not.
I've heard Mike talk about him.
Yeah, but what's wrong with that?
No, I mean, I have no interest in watching like his show. Like I
Why?
just because I know exactly what every show is going
It's
to be like because
entertaining.
I've known his personality so much. Also, I swear to God, at least once a month, I watch the 13-minute clip or whatever that they have of Mike just talking
Yeah,
about the live episode of Ghost Adventures that they did. Because listening to Mike talk about Zach Baggins and Ghost Adventures gives me life. It makes me not even need to watch Ghost Adventures because I can just live it through Mike.
it's first off you should watch it because I just started watching it. And I'm enjoying
I
it.
probably
It's
should
fun.
watch it, but
It's fun. I mean, it's not Ghost Hunters, but it's more entertaining than
yeah.
that. And if you
Well, I
want
mean,
to,
it's got Zach Baggins telling ghosts that they need to kill him if they
and
want to prove
if
that
you're
he
gonna
exists.
watch Ghost Adventures, then you have to watch the new Ghost Nation with the guys from Ghost Hunters
Okay.
because that's also really good. That's more serious. And then if you're
Okay.
gonna watch that, then you should watch Hotel Paranormal, with, narrated by Dan Aykroyd.
I'm always down.
And then if you watch those, you should download the Discovery Channel app and then do what I'm doing, which is rewatching every episode of MythBusters.
Oh shit, dude, that's a lot of episodes of
I
MythBusters.
know, and guess what? I'm in for the ride, MythBusted or
All right,
not.
does it make you sad to see Grant Imahara?
Um, I'm not
Shit, how
there
do you say
yet.
his name? Is it Imahara?
Imahara, I think.
Imahara.
I'm not there yet. I'm only on season 2.
When
I
does he
still,
show up?
I
Is
think
that
I
season
think
three?
it's 3. I think
Because it. I know
him,
it's
Carrie,
him.
and
It's
Tori.
him, Carrie, and
Tori.
and Tori all show up at the same
Yeah,
time. But
the build team,
yeah,
aka all the people who used to work at ILM.
basically, yeah.
Yeah, well, not Carrie, but the other Tori and Grant. Um,
Tori and Grant, yeah.
so the Belushi documentary is good. I wish it was Dan Aykroyd. Wish it was Bill Murray.
Mm.
It's good though.
A Bill Murray one would be good. But I
Dan,
feel like that probably won't get made till he's dead. And Bill Murray seems like he's sticking around for a long
he's
time.
making those shitty movies still.
He's going in the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that's
Ghostbusters
true.
Afterlife.
So is Dan Aykroyd.
That's true.
can you believe that we had to wait? We're having to wait another fucking year.
Did they delay it again?
No, 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 just from the last time they delayed it.
Oh yeah.
How they
I
delayed?
imagine they'll delay it again because it's supposed to come out in March. There's no way
No,
they're
no,
gonna
no, no. It's
release it
coming
in
out in
March.
June.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I feel like the last time we talked about it, I thought it was supposed to be like February or
it
March or
was supposed
something.
to be July, I
It
believe.
was supposed to be in July of this year. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they moved it to June.
Okay.
So it was
That
like a
might be
full
better because
year.
yeah, I feel like most people will be vaccinated, so you might actually have people going to theaters. It has a good chance to make some money. That feels like a smart choice.
I feel like it would have to. They said it's done, so just put it
Yeah,
out.
I would hope it's done by now.
No,
It's been delayed
they
a
already
whole
put
year.
Jason Reitman already put on Twitter or Instagram that it's done.
Yeah,
So just fucking put it out.
just give me another trailer and let me know that you
Yeah,
still haven't
give
forgot
me a
about it.
trailer, put it out
Give me
because
a trailer. Let me know you haven't forgot about it, and then
if
just give it to me.
the fact that I can watch Matrix in like what, or I can watch Mortal Kombat in like 4 months.
Yeah,
Just give me Ghostbusters.
that's crazy. I can't believe that movie's done.
I can believe it.
I can't
It's like
believe it.
Snake Eyes. It's done,
That's true.
like for sure. Um, so Belushi.
Belushi.
Last thing I did was, which I talked to you about on text, which was I watched
Yes.
the
Okay.
episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen,
I just watched the last episode that they just released today.
which was
About an hour
what
ago.
episode was it? What happened?
Episode 12.
What
It
happened
was
in it?
the follow up to the Junpei arc. Um, so it it happened what I thought was going to happen, and it made me sad. Which was you have oh my god, what's his name? I can't remember his fucking name. Itatori.
Yep,
Itatori fight
Yuji.
Junpei. Yuji.
Yeah,
Goddamn.
Yuji.
Yuji fight Junpei. Junpei has his own. He doesn't have jujutsu. He actually has like a curse that's around him. He has like a jellyfish curse, which is a really neat power. I like the power a lot. Where it's like, so he has the jellyfish that like can protect him from physical damage, and then he also can like use it to like attack people and whatnot. And then halfway through the episode, he gets turned into one of the weird amorphous curse things by Mahito, the human curse,
Hmm.
who can like transform people's souls. So he's got to transform into that. He's like some weird blue troll creature, and he like starts to punch the shit out of Yuji, and then he collapses and dies, which
Hmm.
makes me sad because, dude, talk about like having like the perfect arc to be like a top tier side character,
Yeah,
and then just like getting fucking murdered.
yeah. Well,
Um,
because the fucking mangaka realized that she introduced too many fucking characters too
she introduced
fast.
a lot of characters.
So I
But you also have that. It also is a great jumping off point where, because you have the moment where he's like got Junpei and he like is like begging Sukuna to like take him over. Like he's
no,
basically like,
no, I'm not gonna do
do
it.
whatever you want with me. Like I don't fucking care. Like just take him out of this cursed state. Like turn him back into a normal person. And Sukuna is like the fucking like bossest shit ever. Where you think. Because this shit also got me where you think it's going to be the typical shonen thing where he's like, oh yeah, he's going to use like a super OP power and he's going to get out of it. And then Sukuna's like, no, I'm not going to fucking do it. Like, fuck you.
Well, yeah, the contract.
Yeah, well, that was the other thing that he
No.
mentioned. He's like, oh yeah, he completely forgot about the contract that we already made. So like, fuck him. Like, I don't have to do anything he fucking says.
I
So you have this like beautifully animated scene, which is like, it's beautiful and fucking horrific, where you have Sukuna and Mahito like fucking like, I don't know, it's like background like highlight like
Mhm.
the most like disturbing like laughing at somebody else's like pain and despair that I've ever fucking seen in my whole life. It looks so fucking good. It was a great episode, and then my boy showed up at the end, and next episode's about to be fucking hype. I can't fucking wait.
So I watched episodes 1 through 11.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Enjoyed it for the most part.
Yeah.
And I read. I'm reading the manga, or I stopped reading now. But I read
Mm-hmm.
up until like the pretty much the next or the end of the little event,
Okay.
spring or summer, whatever the fuck it's called. I read
The
Enter
spring
High School
tournament.
bullshit, whatever the fuck that's called.
Yeah, it's a tournament arc. It's a school tournament.
It's not. That's the fucking
It's not.
problem. It's not.
What? It's not a tournament
Um,
arc.
I mean, it is, but it's also not.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna spoil it because you're actively watching it, so I'm not gonna spoil it.
Right.
I'll just give you my feelings on them. So
Okay.
I'm not. super far. I'm arc ahead of the anime right now. That's it,
Okay.
right? And I told you on this on text, and I'll say it with this. Just like I was talking about with Fire Brigade,
Yeah.
Flames, or whatever the fuck it's called in the anime.
Fire Force.
The pacing is terrible. The
Yeah.
pacing is terrible on this motherfucker, man.
It's
And
super fast. Yeah.
I get it because they have to go at breakneck speeds to keep people's attention.
Yeah.
They can't do the fucking bleach build up, which I get. It's
Yeah.
terrible because you're giving people power ups from the get go. Like, how the fuck does this main character have like they're trying to say that all these fingers matter. There's 20
Yeah.
of them, yet the motherfucker has two already by the second episode.
He's
Like,
got three. Yeah.
it's too
At this
fucking
point,
many. It's too
like in the
fucking
anime now,
many.
he's got three. Well, he's
Those,
got 20. You know, he's got
those things
20
should
fingers and
those
toes.
should matter.
Yeah.
Those little upgrades should matter and be impactful because they're not
Well,
showing that it
it's
matters.
yeah. Well, it's weird that they have the. It's weird because those fingers have dual meanings because they also are the power up, but they also are a way to like. I mean, it's like it's like the first prison arc that they have, where it's like they're power ups, but they also are like initiators of like boss battles, essentially,
Yes,
where it's like they by their very like existence attract like super
but
powerful
they
curses.
also should. They're also double-edged swords
Yeah,
because it's supposed to not only power him up as a character, but it's also going to power up the main enemy of the show. So it
yeah,
should mean more, but they don't do that. The manga
yeah.
doesn't do that, and what the manga does, she doesn't actively portray that it matters, and
Mm,
they don't explain rank structure. And as someone who is a fan of rank structure, I think power
yeah.
levels are in it. What's the right
Yeah,
word?
she has a very loose concept
Like
of like
power,
what the power structure
Matt.
is.
Okay, so there's a few things that shonen stuff need to me. And I think
Yeah.
this is what makes not every great shonen has these things, but I think or all of these things, but I think the ones that are great have elements of these things, like
Mm.
rank structure and or captain system hierarchy. That thing's
Some sort
important.
of hierarchy level
Hierarchy
system.
things, right? Because if you don't have the hierarchy system, then you need a good magic system to explain power levels. All
Mm.
these things are supposed to explain power levels. Power levels
Yeah.
matter. As simple as Dragon Ball Z, a literal number.
Yeah.
Or and you can see that by the old school with the scanners, or where they have to actually have them fight, or key levels, or they power up when the world explodes.
Hmm.
Bleach, you have the captains, and you have the lieutenant, the vice captains, and you have the fucking grand commander guy.
Yeah.
Naruto, you have
You have the rank structure of the actual ninja
the ninja rank
themselves.
structure with the Hokage, all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
you have rank structure.
One Piece, you've got. Well, One Piece doesn't have that
Well,
actually.
One Piece you have various
Well,
different
One Piece,
levels
I
of
guess
rank
you have
structure.
like. Yeah, I mean, I guess One Piece you have like pirates, and then you have like warlords, and then you have like
You have the
the
Shichibukai,
admirals.
and then you have the
Yeah.
Yonko, and you have the vice admirals and the admirals, and then you have
Yeah.
the grand line, the higher end navy. So there's rank structure upon rank structure upon rank structure in One Piece.
Yeah, but it feels like all those are like disconnected from each other, kind of.
Well, they're different. They're all different things, right? So there's a constant
Right.
battle of like, okay, well, there's four warlords of the sea, the four Yonko. How strong are they compared to the navy? There's always
Right.
that battle, right? Because you have instances where one character walks into the navy or the marines and they all freak the fuck out, right?
Yeah.
So it makes you go, okay, how strong is Shanks actually compared to the admirals? Like there's always that level of questioning, but you always know that they're powerful.
Hmm.
Whereas in this show, they don't ever explain anything except for, oh, he's a first rank sorcerer, second rank sorcerer.
Yeah.
And honestly, later where I'm at, which is only an arc ahead, those don't mean anything.
Mm.
Those don't matter at all. They just fucking
Okay.
willy nilly don't matter. They're a
Okay.
first year this, but also fourth years don't compete in this competition. I don't know fucking why. There's
Yeah, that was the part that was weird to me. Yeah, because they were talking about they have the arc where the guys from the other school shows up, and then the one guy says that like this is the last opportunity to compete because third years don't compete, which doesn't make any sense. I don't know why
But it's
third years
also
wouldn't
like
compete.
if every class at the school's only three people, then
Yeah.
you should just do what Blue Exorcist does and have them all be in one class. Because three people
Yeah,
in
that would
class
make more
makes no
sense.
sense. So
I mean, I
Premise
get it from the
wise,
fact that like jujutsu sorcerers are like rare to
right.
see, but like, yeah, I mean, from just a storytelling aspect, it would make more sense for them all just be
Be all be
together and
together.
have it just be one class. Yeah.
Yes, and again on the premise, it's all about what I enjoy. I
Hmm.
love urban fantasy.
Yeah.
I love that shit. Dresden,
Yeah.
all about it. Fucking Buffy, Angel, all about it. Love that shit, right?
Yeah.
So this is all great.
It's definitely in the realm of that. Yeah.
It's Japanese urban fantasy. There's nothing else
Yeah.
to explain. That's exactly what it is. They fight
Yeah.
demons.
Yeah.
That's and they use magic. That's Japanese urban fantasy. So I'm all about that.
Yeah.
They don't. There's no connection to the characters because they're so fast.
Yeah.
So in the show, when the character supposedly dies, when Yuji supposedly dies, it matters zero because we've only had 3 episodes with the fucking crew and they've done nothing.
Yeah, well, I mean, it has the same problem for me that Attack on Titan had, which is you kill the main character off in like less than 10 episodes, and I'm like, okay, they're not dead. Like, it's not going to happen. So, like, why? I don't know why I'm supposed to like feel anything at this point because I know they're going to come back in like an
Well,
episode or
I'm
two.
fine if they want to kill them and have that facade, but don't
Yeah.
make me think that the characters that aren't dead are supposed to care as well because they haven't been together that long.
Yeah, that's true.
Because
I guess
they're not
with Aaron,
portraying
it makes a
time
little more sense,
efficiently.
but
So the
yeah.
pacing's just terrible. Also, going back to power scale,
Hmm.
so they say that Goju, what's his name?
Gojo, yeah.
Gojo is like the top of
Yeah.
both fuck like is it one department? I don't fucking know. Like, do both schools work for the same department?
I think it's under the thing. I don't know. This is the other thing they haven't explained too well, but I feel like it's the schools are like in different jurisdictions basically, but they're all under the
Umbrella
like
of the same thing.
umbrella of the
So they're
jujutsu like
saying
organization.
he's the number one undoubtedly.
Yeah, which I mean, you see his power and you're like, yeah, I could get why he's number
Okay, so
one.
you're fucking Kakashi with fucking Naruto's dad's power. Okay.
Not even that, because like it's not even that he's fast. It's just people can't touch him. Like he just
That's
has like
that's
he
that's like
has like an
that's
invisible
exactly what we thought
barrier.
Monato's powers were. Like, here's fucking
Yeah, but then
dimensions.
it just turned out that Minato was just like really fucking
No,
fast.
he's teleporting through dimensions and shit, right? Like, or he's
Well,
just
he had
teleporting and stuff.
he was teleporting to yeah like marks and stuff like
So you're
that. It
he's
wasn't like he
so
wasn't
literally
teleporting. He was just
he's
teleporting.
combining Kakashi's eyes, which is where he has the fucking mask thing,
Hmm.
with Kakashi's Mangekyo power, which is the dimension thing, with
Yeah.
the speed of Minato. So we
Hmm.
have like fucking blue-eyed Flash, who
Yeah.
has like little energy balls. They don't explain how the magic works. It's 12 episodes.
Yeah. They don't
There
really
is
explain
no
it.
magic system. It's 12 episodes, and that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think that's probably the weakest part about it is the yeah. There's not really a the her power structure and her magic system is very freewheeling. Like it, she basically like, blows it off that like each person's jujutsu power is like works in a different way, but like with that, there's no like set structure. Like with that, I don't know how you can rank like I don't know how you can rank somebody as like a grade one sorcerer.
Yeah,
But I mean, she also kind of says that where it's like they're not necessarily ranked on like their inherent power. They're ranked on like the level of because I guess curses are ranked on an initial power structure of like grade of curses, and so you're
yeah.
not ranked on your power as a sorcerer. You're ranked on the level of curse that you would be able to
Yeah.
defeat in battle.
But even then, even with the curses with being ranked and being special grade, that's
Yeah.
automatically thrown out the fucking window because they fight one of those so fucking fast.
Yeah, that's the other thing
So
about it.
again, it's
Yeah,
just
you see
terrible.
like a special curse in like the first six
It's just
episodes, and I'm
terrible
like, oh,
pacing. They go to explain that the Sukuna demon was a human being who became bad and was also a demon, but he's the
but he's
king.
also like the most badass curse
Well,
of all time. And, like
how is he
other
the
curses
best?
like
Why,
tremble in his presence.
why is he the best? How is he the best? How is he the strongest? He's a person, so that doesn't make any sense either. There's
Yeah.
too many things going on at once, and the mangaka is not doing a good job at making you give a shit. Because
I can see that.
the world is cool. The art is
Yeah.
stylish. The powers are interesting, right? Like, you have the Kakashi character with the
Hmm.
Kakashi style powers and the Kakashi eye color, and the
Yeah.
Kakashi hair color and the Kakashi mask color.
He's basically Kakashi, but
He
instead of having a mask over his mouth, he has it over his eyes.
he's Kakashi, and then you
Yeah.
have um, the girl's not really Sakura, but she's like tough, like post
Well, she
time
actually
skip
fucking
Sakura.
kills people in like fucking Sakura
Yeah,
does.
and then
So,
you have the main
and you have
character.
Sasuke.
You have the main character, and you have the Sasuke guy
Yeah.
who has the powers of Sai. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, you have all these things that are like Naruto. Even the fucking main character has a demon like Naruto.
Yeah.
But the thing that separates the two shows, besides the type of show, is that Naruto built it up efficiently.
Mm.
Like Naruto built it up to why
Yeah.
you care if he succeeds.
Mm.
And even if ultimately it didn't matter because Naruto's gonna win anyways because his fucking parents are fucking
Because
goats.
he's the fucking ordained
Yeah.
godchild that was
Even
born
with
on
that
this
being
earth.
said,
Yeah.
like in Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm fine with his reason being Yuji's reason being that because his grandpa died way too fast.
Yeah.
Um, I'm fine with that
Died
being
like
the
the
reason.
first, yeah, like the first episode, he's
Yeah,
fucking
10 minutes
dead.
in, I'm
Yeah.
fine with that being the reason. Fine, whatever. Clearly, his parents also were some sort of sorcerer because his grandpa was like,
Well, that's the thing that kills me the most about the show is that just as an initial character, even without the jujutsu stuff, is like Yuji's some weird like
super
superhuman
athlete,
like Goku character that like makes no fucking sense where he can like throw shot puts like they're basketballs
baseballs. Yeah,
or baseballs. I'm like that is not like that's not a human thing to do.
they're gonna be like he came down from a line of vessels or some
Yeah, like
bullshit
even
like that.
anime wise, like that's not normal to be able to just like throw a basketball as like a base human. Like that makes no sense.
Again, I liked every. I like the artistic. I like the abilities for the
Yeah.
most part. Um, it's just the style of the shonen manga is now, which is
I think
breakneck
the
speed.
main problem is that I mean pacing is a big problem, but I also think I think the main problem that I have with the show is what you talked about, which is just the inherent lack of structure
Yeah,
in the world itself.
yeah.
Which I mean, I'm not saying she doesn't have structure because clearly she has like some idea what's going on, but it's like it's not organized, which I think is the main problem.
Like if you're again, okay. So if you're gonna show me the character hunting demons,
Yeah,
give me an arc of him hunting monster of the week demons,
yeah.
right? And then
They kind of did that,
then
but it
when
was
you
like one
intro,
episode, and that was like
it's not
not
as one
enough.
2 episodes. And when you're gonna show
Yeah,
me the world at large, you need to prepare to give me an info dump of okay, so the principal is number one at the school. Well, who runs the whole agency? Who
yeah,
runs the whole thing? Is there a level structure there?
yeah,
Because you have to have all that stuff going on. Why is there only one principal for a school of 12 kids?
yeah.
Why are the teachers also the number one hunter? Like, why would you do that? Oh, because we're understaffed? Pick someone else. Like, who the
Yeah.
fuck cares? Um, explain how the magic works. Don't just tell me, oh, well, it's engraved in you from your young age. That's not a
But
that's
it's
not a
also
good
not
reason.
because then you have Junpei who shows up and like he doesn't know anything about jujutsu
And
tech,
then
and
they
then
want you to care
Mojito is
about
able to like awaken his power, and he's able to fight with like full
yeah.
jujutsu power in like an episode.
But then they also want you to give a shit about like, okay, well, the twin girls, their clan is also the same clan as the demon ghost spirit main character, but
Oh,
also
what the
they're
fuck?
like
What the fuck? What?
they're
Huh?
from the same this powerful clan. Like you're like, what the fuck are we doing, dude? Like, there's you're giving me too much at too fast speeds where I can't even tell you characters' names. I can tell
Yeah.
you two characters' names, right? I can tell you Toto
Dude,
and Yuji.
I can't even tell you characters' names. I mean, you saw me at the beginning of this. I couldn't even remember the main character's name. Had that shit. I was watching an episode with I don't know if you know him. He's a anime guy, but it was Emi Richu and Didus.
I have no idea.
There are a couple on YouTube, but like they were talking about. I don't remember exactly what they were talking about, but Didus was like talking about how he watches shows and like he doesn't remember characters' names. He just remembers like descriptions about the characters. So he'll be watching a show and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's like blonde MC.
Yes.
That's like redhead side character. That's the bitchy girl. That's like the shy girl who doesn't talk too much." And I was like, "That's this show for me right now." Because normally I can like tell you characters' names, but in this show I'm just like, "That's the main character who doesn't really have control of his powers.
Yep.
That's the Sasuke lookalike. That's the brown-haired Sakura. That's the Kakashi who doesn't wear a mask over his his mouth. Like
That's
that's the way it.
exactly where I'm at as well.
Yeah, so that's the weird part about it, because yeah, I think that's the weirdest part for me, is that yeah, it doesn't give you a lot of time to like grasp onto anything, because it's moving ahead at such like a breakneck pace that like it really doesn't give you an opportunity to like slow down and like ingest what's going on, because it's just constantly moving on to the next thing.
And it's a problem, dude. It really
I
is.
think I think it's a flaw for sure.
Well, I'll leave Jujutsu Kaisen at that.
Yeah.
That's all I've been checking out, Zach.
Okay.
What do you want to hit next? We got some stuff. We got new stuff. You want to hit that, or you want to go right to our
Hold on.
review?
Hold on. What do we have news wise? I did watch the Walker Texas Rangers trailer.
Yep.
Texas Ranger. Yeah, Texas Ranger. I don't know
Yep.
why I thought that was wrong. Um, I guess this is a new show now that Supernatural's done.
Yeah, yeah. It's his new show. Yeah.
I don't watch any CW shows, so I don't know if I'll watch this, but I watched a trailer and I was like, I'd watch that.
I watched the trailer as someone who, in and out, would watch Walker as a kid.
That was the thing. That was the craziest thing to me. I was watching this and I was like, did Walker Texas Ranger have like an overarching storyline like this?
I don't remember.
I don't know if it did.
I'm sure
I
it
don't
did. I'm
remember.
sure it did season per season.
I watched a couple episodes here and there, but I don't remember like an overarching arc like this where
Again,
it's like
I'm sure it was like a season bad guy per season type.
Maybe.
I mean, it ran like 5 or 6 years, so of course there was.
I don't know. I feel like Walker Texas Ranger was in that time of like the A-Team and all that other kind of stuff where it was just like,
decade later.
Was it really?
Yeah, Walker was a '90s show, baby.
They feel like shows that were made at the same time.
Oh, sure. Walker was a '90s show.
Okay.
A-Team
But it
was
feels like there was that same type of thing where it was just like not the monster of the week, because they're not battling, but it was the same type of concept where it was
Criminal
like
of the week, yeah.
Yeah, the story of the week, and it was just like, okay, this is the episode. We get an hour to resolve this problem. It's a Star Trek thing.
No,
you get an hour. You get the hour to resolve this problem. Sometimes there's a two-parter, but that's if it's a really special circumstance. For the most part, you've got your story for the week. You've got an hour to resolve it. This is how we resolve it.
Yeah. I watched the trailer for this, and I was like, I mean, I'll watch the first episode. I mean, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more interested in watching it because I don't have cable, but I can just stream it on the CW. And I was like, okay, I would look up trying to watch this first episode on the CW.
Yeah. Well, there's Walker. We talked about Cyberpunk being refunded.
We did.
What else was in that news, Doc?
Yu Yu Hakusho getting a live action.
Yes.
Netflix's second live action series they're making out of anime after Cowboy Bebop, which is supposed to be. I assume it's going to come out before Yu Yu Hakusho because it's been.
I would fucking hope so.
I would hope so because it's been in development for about 2 years.
I would fucking hope so that Cowboy Bebop and Avatar would come out.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Avatar's coming out too. So this will be the third one, but yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho is getting a live action series. I mean, I feel like it's the most apt to get a live action series because honestly, as a show, it's basically like Buffy or Angel in that aspect, where it's like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's like we talk about Jujutsu Kaisen. It's urban fantasy. Guy becomes a ghost, is a detective. He doesn't really do any detective work, but
which definitely made me when I was like,
it's more like a spirit police officer than a spirit detective.
Yeah, and I'm cool with that because when I was a kid and would buy Dragon Ball Z VHS tapes, and they would always have like Yu Yu Hakusho ads before it, be like Ghost Spirit Detective or Ghost Files, Yu Yu Hakusho. Like, I mean, like it sounds cool in theory. Like, I mean, I was
dope.
Super cool into that when I was a kid, but now as an adult, I'm all about it. So,
I honestly think you should watch the anime because it's really fucking good. I mean, I told you over text. I did a rewatch a year or two ago now. And it still holds up, dude. It's still a really solid show. Especially the Dark Tournament arc. That Dark Tournament arc is like. It's some of the best shit in the whole.
I'm all about watching it now. I used to not really care about it. I mean, I'm interested in checking it out, but
I think it's like 100 episodes. Or
I'm
something
so like iffy because of Hunter x Hunter.
That's weird. Okay, why?
He's the same guy.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh well, he finished this, so
he did this before he did Hunter x Hunter, by like 2 years.
Well, at least he finished this, so at least it's got a definitive ending.
Because I read Hunter x Hunter and I was like, it's not that good. And like
I don't know, I watched Hunter x Hunter and I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, I didn't. I didn't. I haven't completely caught up on the Hunter x Hunter anime, but I mean, I watched the first. I think when I left off, it was in the first like 25 episodes or something like that. But like, I really enjoyed the first arc of them like getting their hunter licenses and all that. And
I
I
thought it
really
was
enjoyed
fine.
the
I thought it
world,
was
and
fine.
I really hadn't gotten to the magic system like the Nen system and all that yet. But I had fun with it.
I mean, I'll probably end up watching it. Right now, I'm currently starting my endeavor of watch or reading City Hunter.
I've been wanting to watch that for the longest time because I think, especially for me, I watch a lot of future funk videos and like listen to a lot of
Mhm.
future funk music, and a lot of their music videos or AMVs that people do. People use like the classic like City Hunter and a lot of
Yeah.
those type of shows like in the music videos a lot of time. And the concept of it seems so interesting.
Oh,
I
I
like
mean,
it a lot.
I've read probably because the manga was never ever finished, translated,
Okay.
fan sub or official. So
Wow. Okay.
I read up until like chapter like 170 something, and then I was looking at the Reddit page for it, and people are actively like once a month fan subbing it again or fan
Okay.
translating it again.
Okay.
So I'm like, shit, I'm gonna go back and reread the whole thing because people are actually like
Yeah,
updating
it's
it.
nice that people are actually like updating it and keeping up with it. Yeah.
And there was the sequel series, which was an alternate reality version of the show called like Angel Heart or Angel Beat or Angel Blaze,
I've never heard of
which
that.
is like City Hunter, but except that it was a female main character and Rio is like someone else. Like it's the same guy, kind of guy, but he's older. It's like a
Hmm.
different take on it. So it's like City Hunter, but not City Hunter. And I've
Okay.
that's been mostly translated, I believe. And I've read part of that, but I never finished it because I like Rio as a character.
Yeah.
And then also that the movie came out last year, and I finally found a good sub of it.
Okay.
Illegal, sorry guys. City Hunter Shinjuku Private Eyes, I think is what it's called.
Is this an
Um,
anime or is this live action?
anime movie, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it came out
Interesting.
last year, um, and it looks great. I haven't finished it yet. I started it like a few days ago and literally just watched the opening sequence. I was like, okay, I gotta pause because I need more time to sit down and watch it on TV. But
Right.
um, that's kind of my next big undertaking is that, and then
Okay.
I'll probably read or watch. I should watch Yu Yu Hakusho.
I mean, I've never read it, so I don't know if reading is better. But I mean, I watched it, and I mean, I think it's Rurouni Kenshin size, where it's like, I think it's around like 100 episodes.
That's another
But
thing I need to watch, dude.
I haven't watched it either, and I know I read it because I know I have like the first three volumes on my because I think I got the first three volumes like from you, I think, or something like that.
Maybe.
But I've read them and I enjoy that what I read a lot. So I just need to like
Well,
sit
I
down and
love
actually
the
watch it
movies,
because
man.
I like the characters.
I like the movie a
I've
lot.
heard the live action movies that they did of it are really
They're
good.
they're really good. All three of them are really really good.
Yeah.
I thought that I would actively want to read the manga more since I like the movies, but I just never done it. Just never did it.
Okay. Interesting.
The movies are good though.
But yeah, I mean I watched Yu Yu Hakusho and I enjoyed it watching it like that. I mean there's not really any filler in it. Each
Right.
thing is, its own arc. So
Cool.
there's not really a filler arc. At least I don't know that there is. I'm pretty sure each of them is just like, arc to arc, straight plot
Right.
the whole time. So
Well, I'll check it out eventually. Probably. Again, it's in my wheelhouse of stuff I like now, so
yeah, for sure.
I'll probably check it out. That's really it. I want to talk about for the newsy stuff. Did you want to hit our main
We
topic?
can. I have to go to the bathroom though.
Go for it.
All right, give me a sec.
Yeah, go for it. So Zach's gonna go pee pee.
Before
Um,
we get into this, talk about Friends Forever.
so this is our third installment of 80s action movie month, where we go in and we talk about our favorite and new 80s action movies. And this week we're talking about Miami Connection, which is a movie that was long gone by on the wayside of history until the dude at Alamo Draft House found it on eBay for like $30, I believe. And I don't think Zach's ever seen it until this week. I've seen it once before, 10 years ago or 9 years ago, whenever. Right whenever it got found, that's when I found it or watched it because I heard how fucking goofy it was. So I was happy to rewatch it and the amazing music that's in this movie. So I'm curious to see what Zach thinks of it because it's a B movie in every level. It's a B movie, but it's actually better than seeing it a second time years later. Because the first time I watched it, you're just like laughing at how goofy it is, and then a second time where I've seen more B movies now in the sense of like I actually enjoy watching B movies. The sets look pretty good. Like there's like care here, there's like love in the movie that makes it look good. So I'm curious to hear what Zach thinks about it because it's one of those movies where if you Google like you know best B movies to watch or worst B movies to watch, this is always on the list of one of those two lists. So like favorite of all time, best of all time, must see B movies, whatever. Miami Connection's always on there. So I'm curious to see what he thinks or thought of the movie after seeing it for the first time. Ugh. I'll put a drop in here right now. There you
It's
go. One more.
Ninja. I already got the song stuck in my head, dude. I just can't stop singing it. I've been listening to it nonstop at work today, and I
Yeah.
just like can't get it out of my head now that I've heard it.
So I was just talking about how it's one of the more popular movies if you Google like B movies to watch.
Which is what, honestly, it's surprising to me that it's one of the most popular. I feel like it has more to do with like its infamy from the fact that like it was barely shown in theaters and the fact that like it's an actual like good to watch B movie. I mean, it's definitely like there are parts of it that are enjoyable, but I don't know if it was B.
Okay. So
I don't know if
this
it
is your first time seeing this.
this yes, this is my
Okay.
first time
So
seeing it.
I said what you were when I was vamping. I want to
Yes.
give me your initial reaction upon completion of Miami Connection. How did you feel?
We need to get rid of violence to have world peace.
The elimination of violence.
As I viciously stab somebody in the back.
Yes. So the thing that sticks out to me watching, I've only seen this movie twice. This is my second time seeing it, and it's been a long time since I've seen it the first time. Is that the first time I watched it, it's just goofy, like dumb, poor made B movie bullshit. The second time I watch it, like,
I don't know. It's not poorly made.
well,
I think there are parts of
again,
it
the
that are.
first time I watched it, that was what the lens was. It's just this
Yeah.
crappy B movie from Florida by some Korean guy.
Yeah.
It's here's goofy. So I'm watching it through because you're watching through the lens of like this is a shitty B movie, which is it is. But then I watch it a second time, having years of seeing other B movies,
Mm-hmm.
and I watch it and I go, this movie's full of love.
It is. It definitely has like it has a heart to it, and you can tell that like
They tried.
YK Kim is like very passionate about like the stories he was trying to tell, and he like definitely like
Like
tried to convey it in the best way that he knew how.
my two reactions to this movie a second time seeing it recently this past week is that one, it's full of like they tried really hard to make a movie.
They do really hard.
And
I
then
mean,
no,
it doesn't. Honestly, it doesn't look bad from like a
no
movie standpoint. Like it looks like. I mean, it looks like a typical like '90s,
B
'80s B
movie.
movie.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't look like fantastic, but I mean, it doesn't look terrible either. Like
And
there
my
are worse
number
look movies.
two, my initial reaction was, man, they're really promoting Taekwondo.
They really love
They
Taekwondo.
really love Taekwondo. So the basic premise, real fast, of this movie for people who don't know or haven't seen it, is that there's a biker gang who are bringing drugs into Miami.
Not just a biker gang, a ninja biker
Ninja
gang.
biker gang is also just a regular gang of dudes who work
There
out.
is just a regular, but they're not on bikes.
But they
They're
work
just
at
a regular
they're
gang.
gym guys,
Yes.
and they're
Gym
bringing
gang.
in drugs, and just randomly, this band full of black belts and Taekwondo.
Dragon Sound, who's
Dragon
full of
Sound,
black belt Taekwondo masters.
which is a band full of Taekwondo masters who are also all orphans, or so we think. And the whole movie happens because of the guy's fucking Jeff's
yeah,
sister.
the guy is dating one of the gang leader's sisters, and so thus the plot of the movie commences.
Because the opening jam scene where they're playing "Friends for Eternity," "Friends Forever,"
Friends
We're on
forever,
top because we
we'll
play to
be
win.
together. We're on top and we'll play to
When the
win.
Japanese biker gang guy is walking through the club with Jeff, the guy
Yes.
who the guy the girl's sister,
Hmm.
he goes, "Hey man, isn't that your sister up there?" And he's like,
Huh?
"Huh?"
She's not supposed to be here.
The acting, first off, the level of acting is so terrible.
First of all, can we talk about how YK Kim has a complex that he wants to pretend that he's a college person even though he's clearly like 40 years
Yeah.
old.
Can we?
He has like bags under his eyes, and everybody else is like kind of looks like they're 20 years old, and he's the only one that like looks like they're 40.
Okay, well, I want to give props as we first. First off,
Yeah,
the two songs that they play,
they're bangers,
they're
dude.
awesome.
They're absolute bangers. I
They're
mean, they're
awesome.
earworms. Like I've been listening to them, and I was like, as soon as I heard him, forgot about Against the Ninja, and then I
Yeah.
heard it in the
I guess
movie, and I was like, God damn, dude, Against the Ninja, hell yeah, I'm Against the Ninja, hell
Yeah,
yeah.
they're both great. Also,
I can't fucking open
the
this. God damn.
scenes like they're shot decently well for a B movie.
Yeah, it's not bad framing or anything like that. Like
Location wise, it's clear that there's like, hey, we're just gonna go film around town, and it's like,
it was clearly like they knew somebody on UCF's campus because they actually go
yeah,
on UCF campus. Which also the other thing that freaked me out about this movie because it's called Miami Connection. This movie does not take place in
no,
Miami. This
no,
movie takes place in Orlando. This movie
yeah,
takes place like I've been to places where this movie is shot at.
yeah. I love that YK Kim is like the ringleader of the orphan group,
Oh my god.
and if you don't have, okay, so
You don't scare me at all.
I have a mother who speaks in accented Asian English,
Okay.
and she's definitely not as bad as YK Kim, but like,
Yeah.
so even me, I've had to take back, rewind a couple of his lines,
Yeah.
where you're like, "What did you say?"
Oh, I just did it with subtitles. I was like, I
Oh
can't
no
even
no no
read
no!
this.
I
Like,
did
I
the
have
full
to subtitle.
experience. I
I
did
was like, no, no, no. I'm not even going to try to
no
decipher what he says.
I did it the way
Subtitles.
that people in 1980 whatever 86 87 in Orlando
For the 2 weeks that this
would
was
have
in
saw
theater.
this movie. Yeah.
Yes.
So I mentioned last week that this movie has some great, just a great premise, because
Yeah.
the acting is so terrible, and it's
Mm.
not because, okay, hold on, it's because they're bad actors,
Well, yeah.
but also because I'm gonna try to say this and see if it makes sense. So see if it makes sense with me.
Okay.
Because the acting is bad, but it's not because they're bad actors, just because they're probably not actually actors, but they're
Yeah.
trying really hard to make it good.
Yeah.
So with that effort of them trying to make it good, even though it's trash, I watch it and consume it with my eyeballs and go, "This is good."
Okay.
Every time Jeff, the bearded, one earringed gym owner, gangbanger guy,
Well, that worked.
says stupid bad lines about his sister, "I'm your sis, I'm your brother,
Where he
I've raised
definitely
you."
wants to fuck his sister.
Yes.
100%. And he also has that sweet ass earring.
The
I was
one
like, God damn.
earring,
He's got that sweet ass
like
feather earring.
the opening scene where they're leaving their fucking computer class.
You mean the opening scenes where the ninjas show up and
No,
fucking
no, no.
decimate those drug dealers?
The scene where they're leaving class and fucking the white dude
Oh, he goes into the computer
goes into
class.
the
He's like,
just sits there awkwardly and
yeah,
retrieves the sister, and they're
yeah.
walking, and then there's like one arming it, walking together, bantering, and he's like, so, out of nowhere, he's like, "Tell me about your family." Like, the fuck, dude? We've been dating how long? Well, I have a
Yeah.
brother, but I don't really like him.
I don't really like him.
He's taking care of me, but I don't
But
really
he
like him.
pays for everything that I do.
But
So
I don't
you.
really like him. But I should probably see him. Oh, okay.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no. And she starts rambling about how, like, well, my parents died, and I went to go live with them, but then they died, and I went to go with them, so my brother took care of me because they died. And I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, what the fuck are we talking about?
It's like 3 whole character arcs in
And
the
then they
span of
get to his
minutes.
car, and then they show, and his outfit, Jeff's outfit is
Is that the brother?
Jeff's the brother,
Yeah. Full camel gear with
camo
the
top,
sleeveless.
sleeveless
Yeah.
camo top,
Yeah.
camo bottoms, sneakers at the top, the bottom.
Yes.
one earring, beard, bowl cut.
Yes.
And he's calm at first when he sees the white guy dating his sister. He's very calm.
Mm-hmm.
And then out of nowhere, erratic anger.
Who the fuck is this guy?
So,
The guy I'm dating. This son of a bitch.
son of a bitch. It's so
And then he straight
bad.
up just punches the dude.
He
Out of
punches
nowhere.
him.
He just, pop! Got you.
And then the sister is like, "Yeah, I know you're
You're such
embarrassing
an
me."
asshole.
Oh,
She
throws
does
the
that
book at
shit
him.
where she's like banging on his chest. You're
Yeah.
such an asshole.
So that's the level of acting that we get. And
Hold
then
on.
right
I
after,
did write notes for this. Hold on.
okay, real quick though, before you get to your notes,
Yeah.
two things or one thing.
Yes.
This movie is notorious, in my
Mhm.
opinion, and honestly, I think it adds to the movie's quality of having some scene happen and then hard cutting to a scene, the next scene, and not
Mhm.
explaining why. Like
Oh, 100%.
they had their big fight scene in the middle of the city with the previous band that they
Mhm.
that they ousted, and they're like, you're gonna quit, you're gonna give us our jobs back." And he's like, "I don't want any trouble." And
Yeah.
then they fight, and then it hard cuts to them in their car at home.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck did you get home?
Yeah. Well, I think that's the one where Hearts cuts to the next morning and the black guy's like, I'm all right, guys. I'm going to take a shower.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a shower.
And then
How
you
about
have the
how
fantastic
about
scene
when
where
YK?
he
How about
talks about the fact that he got a letter from his father because he's not actually orphaned like the rest of them.
you're missing out, dude?
Because YK Kim goes, I thought we were all orphans. He
You're
said,
missing out
no, I had a father.
when the white guy brings in the mail. He's like, "I got a letter." He's like,
Oh, yeah, he's like
"Ah,
taunting
give me
him.
the letter, no," and
Eh,
everyone comes in.
eh, it's your letter.
Well, my mom told me that my dad was in the military.
My
My,
mom was Korean
my mom,
American.
my
My dad
dad,
was
Black
Black
American,
American.
Black American.
That Black American line kills me, dude. That shit is so
So
funny.
I mentioned that last week. I don't think it really stuck with you when I explained it. Did it make
Mhm.
sense when you watched it though?
Yeah, it did.
Why it's so fucking funny?
Yeah,
My mom
uh,
was Korean. My dad was Black American.
Black American.
It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I also
Uh,
like, however, he both times in this movie when the black guy gets a letter,
mhm.
both times YK Kim tries to grab the
Oh
picture
yeah.
too fast.
He always grabs the picture before the guy like hands it off. He's like, "Give me
Yeah.
the picture."
And one time he goes, "Let me look at the picture." He grabs a letter. He's like, "Let me look at the
Mm.
picture." Grabs the letter. But what were your notes about them?
Oh, I had a couple of things. First of all, opening scene. You have a double dipper Coke tester. That's
Yeah.
bad. No bad. It's no bueno. You don't ever double dip. You don't double dip in chips. You don't double dip in Coke. It's not good. People with mini Uzis can't hit ninjas for
Yeah.
some
Do
reason.
this.
Ba 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 ba. And then you have ninjas that are like down below. They're in the look. The Uzi guys, they're Obi-Wan. They have the high ground. I
Yeah.
don't understand why they can't hit these fucking ninjas. Um, so that's no bueno. Bad fight choreography, but amazing special effects.
Oh yeah, great.
Absolutely amazing. The guy gets his arm chopped off.
Yeah.
You have the scene with YK Kim and the other generic white guy at the end where they're just like they're slashing people left and right. People are getting their stomachs cut open. You have the white ninja just clean cut a dude's head off. I
Yeah.
was like, hell yeah, that's good shit.
I completely agree. Completely agree.
Um, look, Friends Forever against the Ninja, bangers. You got bangers off the back, banger after banger. Opening thought. Oh, and the opening song too, "Escape from Miami."
Yeah.
Tight, love it. Um, what was it? Oh my god, I wrote this and I don't even know what it meant. Fire Hands Brick Break.
Okay. In the opening montage of the movie, where they're
Uh-huh.
like cutting around different factions in the movie,
Yeah.
the Asian motorbiker gang guy, he's
Uh-huh.
in his little like patio, and
Right.
he
Yeah.
burns his hands and he jumps up and breaks the bricks.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So I saw that. And I was like, oh, okay. Um, can't. Oh, and this was the other thing is first of all, the entirety of Friends Forever and
Plays.
Against the Ninja have to play.
Have to
They
play
have to.
a full 3
But
minutes.
also, you can't have a badass meeting between two gang leaders without Friends Forever playing
Yeah.
in the background.
What about when they they're playing the montage? I think the second time, right?
Mm-hmm.
and they're talking about Taekwondo.
Oh yeah.
And YK Kim,
Oh, that was the other thing. Yeah. Well, that goes back to the tarot choreography where they're doing like Taekwondo and like UCF's yard.
oh, I'm not talking about that.
Are you talking about the fact when they want to incorporate Taekwondo into their live shows?
I'm talking about that they pull up to the other Korean guy who owns
Oh yeah,
the
that's right. The
tasty shop.
restaurant guy who has like as terrible of dialogue as YK Kim.
Yes, and there's people in his restaurant trying to pay, and they don't want to pay. So he's like, "You're gonna pay," and they say
I ain't
no.
paying for this shit.
So he fucks them up, and
He
then
does.
Dragon
Oh, so
Sound
that was
pulls
the other
up.
thing. Yeah, everybody in this universe knows kung fu.
Not
Everybody.
the ninjas though. So the Dragon Sound pulls
Well,
up after the
that's
ass kicking, and the guy goes to them, "I'm sorry."
yeah.
And then it cuts to like they're explaining why Taekwondo, like the morals of Taekwondo,
Hmm.
and then YK Kim's like, "Yes, uncle, I understand, but Taekwondo." And it cuts to they're still talking about overlay of them performing live, and
Yeah.
YK Kim like using his toes to grab the black guy's nose.
Oh my god, he does it so often because he does that when they're sparring too in the
Yeah,
UCF where he was sparring with the one guy who has a knife.
yeah,
He like gets him on the ground and he like uses his toes to like pinch his nose.
yeah,
And I was like, first of all, I've been watching you practice these Taekwondo moves and your feet are fucking disgusting.
yeah.
Do not touch my nose with your dirty ass feet.
The movie has such awkward pacing, and they run scenes for so long, but yet the movie's only an hour and a half.
It's an hour and a half, but you have to have, first of all, I mean, 10 minutes is already gone because you've got the two bangers of the whole movie where you've got Friends Forever, which is like a 3-minute song, and you've
Yeah,
got Against a Ninja, which is like a 4-minute song. So you mean you've that's like 10 minutes right there that you've like got out of the
yeah.
bag.
And
So then you
I
also get to
love
practice Taekwondo for like 10 minutes, and that's great.
that the movie goes from like some random ass like goofy movie to like being super duper like bloody and
Super violent. As soon
yeah,
as their friend gets kidnapped and he's like on that like radio tower, you see YK Kim like stab a guy in the neck, and like that's like the first like death that like Dragon Sound does, and it's like it's brutal as hell, dude. You like stabbed like some weird pickaxe into this guy's neck,
and then like
and it's also weird because the rest of the scene they were like silently taking out people. They were
yeah,
like
yeah,
Metal Gear Solid like fucking doing like sleeper holds on people, and then he
yeah,
just was like, nah, fuck it, I'm just gonna kill
steel
this guy.
bar like rebar, just
Yeah.
like beating the shit out of people. I love this movie because
It was a fun movie.
it's so genuine, and
Yeah.
even though it's bad, it's so genuine that they tried really hard to make a good like action movie. And my favorite part, beyond the music, the music
Hmm.
great, beyond the shitty action scenes that are stupid, there are some cool scenes like some cool shots in the movie. My favorite part of Miami Connection is right after they finish their Taekwondo practice, and they're
Hmm.
at the picnic tables, and the guy from Israel is talking about wanting to go on a world tour.
Oh yeah. He's like, oh yeah, we are a very international band, aren't we? He's like, oh
Now,
yeah, I
first off,
guess we
Zach,
are.
you understood that because you had subtitles. If you didn't have
True.
subtitles, you were not going to understand what the fuck he
It's true.
said.
You would not know
We are
what
an
he said.
international band.
Yeah.
I'm Asian, I can do that. I love because the guy's like, we're going on a world tour. We'll see where all our families, like Ireland. I
Yeah.
thought he was going to be like, no, fuck you, dude. But he's like, yeah, like
Yeah.
Ireland.
Ireland.
We can go to
And we'll go to
Korea.
Korea. And
We
we'll
can
go
go
to
to
what was the other one?
Israel, where my parents are from.
I thought there was another one besides Israel.
Was
Because
it
Israel's the last one. He's like, oh, we can also
okay?
go to Israel because that's where my parents are
The
from.
guy with the mustache, right? Is he from Israel or
I
no?
feel like he's from somewhere else.
Italy, maybe.
No, the guy who talks is the guy that's from
Yeah,
Israel.
his family's from Israel.
I
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
the mustache guy was from somewhere else.
maybe.
Maybe he's not. I don't know.
Um, so that's my favorite scene in the whole movie. Is that very close behind it is when they're YK Kim leaves his bedroom when they're all kind of like dozing off. It's like nighttime.
First of all, hold on. I did this in all caps because I saw this and I was like, no, this is wrong. Because he gets off his bed and he does not have a comforter. That is a U-Haul moving blanket that he just put on his bed, and this bitch tried to act like that's a comforter. That is not your bed comforter. That is not a blanket. That
See,
is a moving blanket.
you caught that. What I caught was him getting up, walking around his house, which is sweet, fine.
Oh yeah, the pointless scene where he like walks around his
Say
house and
goodnight
talks
to
to
all
everybody,
your dragon sound.
and then you cut to the next day.
No, 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 no. That cut does exist.
Yeah,
Is he walks into the mustache man's room
yeah,
and he's like, "Hey, what's up going on, Mark? How you doing? Hey, man, how you doing? What you up to? Oh, I'm just working on a new original song." And then YK Kim looks at the music book that he's writing music notes and says, "Oh, it looks good,
yeah.
motherfucker." You looked at the music notes, and then within 2 seconds, you went, "Oh, that sounds like this." To me, that was such a fucking goofy moment. To me, that's a small thing because he could have been like, "Oh, nice, good job." But in my mind, YK Kim was so good at everything that he looked at the music notebook and went, "Oh, I got the melody ready."
First of all, hold on. That scene means that there's another original Dragon Sound song that we
Out
have
there,
not
we
gotten.
haven't heard yet.
We haven't heard it, and I think that's a tragedy.
It is.
Especially because I know that they came together for a revival concert for
Yeah.
Draft House, and they didn't play it. So what the fuck, Dragon
And
Sound?
honestly, it should have happened because this movie is 10 out of 10.
I
Um,
would consider it 10 out of 10.
well, Zach, before we wrap up the show, because there's so much going on with Miami Connection, it's hard to pin
It's hard
down.
to it's hard to pin down. It's hard to go through it step by step because there's a lot of stuff that happens
Yeah,
all the time that you just end up bouncing back and forth.
I can only tell you how I feel when watching it, which is
Yes.
joy, because the movie it's so goofy and heartfelt, and the martial arts is not good. Um,
Mm,
but the movie is so full of bad B level acting that you
yes.
have to see it, and you can watch it on YouTube for free.
And ugly ass biker girls.
Yeah, oh
And that
boobies.
boobies. You get the pair boobies.
That before I finish my thoughts on Miami Connection, which is
Yeah.
simple as this, I love it. It's a great movie. You should go watch it. You should watch it at least once in your life because it's fantastic and it's funny and it's goofy and it's B movie and it's schlock and it's and I mean that in all the good ways. But that scene in particular, the
Mm-hmm.
Asian guy goes to the white biker bar and he is fucking Elvis.
He's fucking Elvis, dude. He kisses the bartender. He's like, "Give me a kiss.
Yeah,
Give me a kiss."
which just does not exist. What world are we in?
I
That
don't know what world that is
people
in.
can never say Florida is racist because that's 1986 when that fucking happening, and this fucking Japanese man is fucking the dude, is like the guy.
He's the guy, man.
Zach, how do you feel about your first watching of this movie?
It's a fun movie, dude. I would probably watch it again. It's a fun time. I mean, I think it definitely has. I mean, it's the typical B movie in the fact that I think it definitely has parts that are a little bit slower,
Yeah,
specifically where he's practicing Taekwondo. And also, I don't know if we touched on this, but like, this is one of those movies where I can definitely tell that, like, I don't know if YK Kim wanted this added, but I can definitely tell that whoever wanted it added thought that it was going to make everything look super badass. But they use slow mo
yeah,
in scenes that they do not need to use slow mo in.
yeah,
That makes
yeah,
the choreography stand out as
yeah.
fucking terrible.
He does.
Like specifically where he's practicing Taekwondo, where he has all those scenes where like I can't even tell if it's slow mo or if they're just legitimately being that slow. But he has like the guy like is the knife and is like trying to like come in for a takedown.
Yeah,
He like legitimately like stops to have
yeah,
YK Kim like fucking like go ha and
yeah,
disarm him. And I'm like, okay, you literally just stopped in the middle of like whatever the fuck you were trying to
yeah,
do.
yeah. I,
So
I
yeah,
I
that
love it.
happens a lot.
I love it.
It's great. I had a fun time with it. I had a really fun time with it.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Zach. Guys, thanks for listening. Thanks
Thank you
for
guys.
watching. That was
Yes.
the third installment of A's Action Movie Month. We have two more left, I
Yes.
believe.
I don't even know
Uh,
what's on the list. Hold on.
we'll see y'all back next week with the next installment of the podcast and of 80s Action Movie Month. Thanks, guys.
See you guys.